For 73 years, Colony Zeta 9 was silent. No signals, no messages, no life. People on Earth believed everyone on that colony ship had died. They had vanished in deep space during a mission to find a new home. The last words ever received were simple. Systems failing, attempting crash landing, please send help. After that, nothing. The world moved on. Other colonies were built. Zeta 9 became just a sad name in old books. Until now. One cold morning, Earth's Space Communications Center picked up a strange signal. It wasn't in English. It wasn't in any human language. In fact, it was in 5 alien languages. But inside that strange message, there was one short line in old Earth code, just 3 words. We are alive. Captain Elias Monroe, commander of the explorer ship Horizon Ray, was sent to investigate. He didn't expect much. Maybe it was a glitch, maybe pirates or a joke. But when his ship arrived near the star system where Zeta 9 was last seen, his crew saw something strange. There was a planet nearby, green, blue, and alive. The scanners showed human structures on the surface, not just wreckage, actual buildings, lights, heat signatures, and something even more confusing, multiple life signs, not human. As the shuttle landed, Elias stepped onto the planet's soil, blaster in one hand, helmet tight, unsure of what he would find. The wind was soft, the air was breathable, the trees looked alien, with glowing leaves and humming flowers. Then, he heard something, laughter, children laughing. He moved toward the sound and froze. In a small clearing, a group of children were playing. Some had human features, some had alien skin, purple, green, or scaled. One had small wings, another had bright silver eyes. But one child stood up and pointed at Elias. She looked mostly human, blue eyes, brown hair, a bit too tall for her age. She ran toward him and shouted, "Papa!" Elias stepped back in shock. I'm not your father." But the girl smiled and touched his hand. "You came back," she whispered. Behind her, other figures appeared. Adult ones, some human, some alien. And one of them, an older woman, held up a hand. She was alien with smooth gray skin and gentle red eyes. "My name is Tyla," she said softly. "Welcome back, human." Inside a nearby cave, they showed Elias the truth. The Zeta 9 colony ship had crashed, just like the old message said. Most humans died. The rest were saved by nearby alien tribes. The aliens helped the survivors rebuild. They offered shelter, food, care. In time, the humans and aliens became more than just allies. They became family. Tyla touched a mural on the wall. Painted by hand, it showed 2 humans holding the hands of different aliens. Around them were children, part human, part alien, smiling together. Elias stared in silence. "You reproduced together?" he asked. Tyla nodded. "We did more than that. We loved." Back at the ship, Elias spoke to Earth Command. "Sir," he said through the radio, "they're alive, but they've changed." "How changed?" the voice replied. "They didn't just survive, they built a new way of living, together with alien species, and they have children. Dozens, maybe hundreds." Silence. Then the voice said coldly, "We'll send a research team. Stay and observe. Do not interfere further." Elias frowned. Something felt wrong. That night, Tyla led him deeper into the mountain. There, hidden in the rock, was a shrine. Inside was a glowing orb. When Elias touched it, he felt something strange. A memory not his own. A human man. A crash. An alien. Woman's tears. Then, laughter. The memory ended with a voice whispering, "Our blood is one now. Our future is theirs." Suddenly a tremor shook the ground. Elias ran outside. The stars were clear, but something was coming. A shadow. A ship. Earth's team, arriving early. But why were their weapons armed? He turned to Tyla. You need to hide the children. She nodded slowly. We knew this day would come. Some humans fear what they don't understand. One of the hybrid children stood close to Elias. She had glowing lines under her skin. Her voice was calm. Will they hurt us? She asked. Elias looked up at the sky. His jaw tightened. Not if I can help it. Elias couldn't sleep. The stars above looked peaceful, but inside he felt a storm. He sat on a hill near the colony, watching the hybrid children play in the distance. Some flew, some ran fast, some used light to draw on the air. They were not normal children, but they were beautiful. He remembered the little girl calling him Papa. Her eyes haunted him. She looked like someone he once knew, someone he had lost. Behind him, soft footsteps approached. Tyla, the alien woman with calm red eyes, stood beside him. You saw something in the memory orb, she said. Elias nodded slowly. A man, a crash, you, and a child. That man was your great-grandfather, she said quietly. He chose to stay with me. Elias looked at her in shock. My great-grandfather? Yes. Your blood flows in the veins of many here. You are not just a visitor. You are part of us. Later that day, Elias walked through the main village. The homes were made of wood, stone, and alien crystal. Human tools mixed with alien tech. He passed markets where alien spices filled the air. A hybrid boy laughed as he floated 3 stones above his hand. A woman with reptilian skin sold warm bread next to a human elder. It wasn't just survival here. It was a new kind of life. But not all was peaceful. At the edge of the village stood a tall wall. Behind it, silent and dark, was a destroyed tower. Burnt flags, broken metal. Elias asked, What happened there? Tyla's face grew cold. That was the Tower of First Contact. Years ago, another alien race came. They hated us, said hybrids were wrong, said we had broken nature. They called us monsters. What did they do? They attacked, she said, burned half our village, took children, killed many. We fought back, barely survived. Elias stared at the blackened tower. You were at war? Yes, Tyla whispered. And they are still out there. That night, the hybrid girl from before, the one who called Elias Papa, snuck into his camp. She had a crystal in her hand, glowing softly. I want to show you something, she said. They walked to a quiet cave. Inside, the walls were covered in drawings, stars, planets, humans, and aliens. Symbols Elias didn't understand. The girl touched the wall and the crystal in her hand glowed brighter. Suddenly, the drawings moved. A projection filled the air. A giant alien ship, much bigger than any Elias had seen. It floated in the dark. Silent, watching. They've been watching us, the girl whispered. They fear what we're becoming. Elias stepped back. What are you? She looked up at him. We're not just hybrids, we're something new. We feel things, hear things. Even the stars talk to us. Elias asked. And the ship? It's been near this system for months, but only we can sense it. Next morning, Elias sent a private message to Earth Command. Warning, unidentified alien ship possibly near colony. Unknown intent. Request backup. Diplomatic, not military. But the reply shocked him. Backup already en route. Military class. Priority. Containment. Containment? Elias whispered. They think this is a disease? Later, as he returned to the village, he found a small council gathering. Alien elders. Human survivors. Hybrid teens. They sat in a circle. Elias was invited. Tyla stood and spoke. We believe the Watchers will come soon, and Earth will come too. Neither understands what we are. An old human woman added, They will try to control us, or destroy us. Elias stood up. I will speak to Earth. I'll explain. Show them you are not a threat. The hybrid girl shook her head. They won't listen. Tyla nodded sadly. That's why we must prepare, not for war, but to protect what we've built. Elias looked around. Children laughed outside. Aliens and humans cooked together. It wasn't a military base, it was a home. He clenched his fists. I won't let them take this away. That evening, the sky shimmered. Far in orbit, 2 ships appeared. One from Earth. The other, unknown. Elias stood between 2 worlds. He knew war may come, but so might hope. The stars were no longer silent. In the days that followed the arrival of the Earth ship and the unknown vessel, something began to change. The hybrid children, half human, half alien, started experiencing strange feelings. Some said they heard whispers in their sleep. Others could touch broken machines and make them work again. A few even began speaking languages they were never taught. Captain Elias watched it all in awe and fear. He stood by the village edge as a group of hybrid teenagers trained in a clearing. One raised his hand. A stone nearby lifted without touching it. Another girl, eyes glowing faint blue, placed her palm on the ground and a flower bloomed from dead soil. What is happening to them? Elias asked Tyla. Tyla watched quietly, then replied, They are becoming more than us, more than you, more than me. They are the next step. In the medical hut, Dr. Liana, a human scientist who survived the original crash, examined the children. She scanned their blood, their bones, their brains. This shouldn't be possible, she whispered. Some of these children have brain activity that reaches outside their own minds. They react to frequencies from space. They sense danger before it happens. She looked at Elias. They aren't just hybrids, they're evolving. Fast. That night, the hybrid girl who once called Elias Papa stood under the stars. Her name was Kayla. She stared at the dark sky, whispering softly, I can hear them. Who? Elias asked, standing behind her. The ones in the second ship. They're not speaking words. They're thinking. And they're afraid. Afraid. Of what? She turned slowly. Of me. Of us. Meanwhile, the Earth military ship, UESS Titan, sent a message down. All hybrid children must be tested for safety, if necessary, relocated to Earth quarantine zones. The village froze. Parents, both alien and human, begged Elias for help. They want to take our children, one mother cried. They don't understand them, said another. They fear what they don't control, whispered Tyla. Elias contacted the commander of the UESS Titan. The man's face appeared on screen, sharp, cold, strict. These hybrids, he said, have unknown powers, unknown genetics. Earth will not take the risk. They will be moved. They're not weapons, Elias argued. They're kids, families. My family. The commander leaned closer. They are not human. Elias cut the call. Back in the village, fear turned to tension. But Kayla walked among the people calmly. Her presence made the children feel safe. Some called her Star Voice. Others followed her, sensing strength in her silence. She told Elias something strange. I saw the other ship in my dreams. The people inside. They are not enemies. They are watchers. They came long ago. Before humans, before even the oldest aliens. They've seen species grow, rise, fall, and now they're watching us. Suddenly a message arrived from the unknown ship. It wasn't in words. It was an image, a galaxy map, with dozens of stars blinking red. Danger, then a single glowing mark. This planet. This colony. Elias realized something terrifying. They're warning us. Something terrible is coming. But why warn the hybrids? Kayla answered softly. Because we're the only ones who might survive it. Later, deep inside the mountain temple, Elias found an old chamber. Inside, glowing crystals hovered in the air. Alien carvings covered the walls. Kayla stood in the center, eyes closed. I understand now, she said. This planet isn't just where we crashed. It was chosen. Long ago. It's alive. It wants us to grow here. Elias stepped forward. Grow into what? Kayla opened her eyes. Something new. At the edge of the village, the USS Titan landed a small force. Soldiers in black armor marched toward the colony gates. Elias stood in their way. These people are under my protection. The lead soldier replied, Then you'll fall with them. Suddenly the ground shook. The mountain behind them glowed, and from the heart of the earth the hybrid children came forward, not with weapons but with glowing hands. Calm hearts, united minds. Kayla stepped beside Elias, her voice clear. We're not here to fight, but we will not be taken. Captain Elias stood between two walls. Behind him, the alien human village, full of children, mothers, and elders, all mixed in species, but united in heart. Ahead, soldiers from Earth, tall, armed, unblinking. He raised his hand. No one here wants war. The lead Earth officer, Commander Jalen Voss, didn't flinch. Then step aside, Captain. These hybrids must be taken in for testing. They are property of Earth science now. Elias's voice grew firm. They are not property. They are people. High above, in orbit, the massive USS Titan watched silently. Inside, Earth officials and scientists argued through holograms. They're a danger. They're not even fully human. We don't know what they're capable of. They might be the future, whispered one voice. But it was ignored. Finally, the vote was cast. If the colony refused to hand over the hybrids, force would be used. Down on the surface, Kyla stood beside Elias. Her glowing skin pulsed faintly. They will not understand us, she said. They are afraid of change. Elias looked around. Mothers hugged their children. Alien warriors stood beside humans, shields ready, not to attack but to protect. Then we show them something they've never seen, Elias whispered. As tension thickened in the air, Tyla walked to the front. She carried no weapon, only a small stone glowing with soft white light. She held it up high and called out, This is not a battlefield. This is our home. Commander Voss stepped forward, gun ready. I give you one last chance. Surrender the children, or suffer the consequences. Tyla looked him in the eyes. We have already suffered, for years. And yet, we chose love. We built peace. What have you built? The commander raised his hand. Squad, move. Then, everything stopped. The ground trembled, not from weapons, not from machines, but from the planet itself. The mountain behind the village split open, and a massive crystal structure rose from below. The watchers, those from the unknown ship, were not just watching, they had awakened something. From the mountain's heart, light shot upward into the sky. Everyone froze. Commander Voss lowered his weapon, stunned. What is that? Kayla stepped forward, her voice calm but strong. It's the voice of this world. You feared us, but it is not us who hold the true power. Above, the USS Titan's scanners went wild. A signal was being broadcast, not just in one language, but in every known galactic tongue. A single message repeated, Observe the children. They are the bridge. Protect them. Panic spread across Earth's command deck. Who sent that signal? We didn't authorize that transmission. Shut it down. But they couldn't, because it wasn't a message from the colony. It was from the planet itself. Meanwhile, in the village, children began to hum. Their voices echoed like a soft song vibrating in the air. Kayla raised her hand. The light from the mountain responded. Commander Voss fell to his knees. His helmet cracked. Tears fell down his face, not from pain, but from feeling something. He couldn't explain. Elias rushed to his side. What did you see? Voss whispered, trembling. I saw a world where war ended, where species lived as one, where a human child held hands with something I once feared. Back on Earth, news of the signal spread. Millions saw the message. Many protested the EC mission. Some feared the hybrids. Others demanded peace. But one thing was clear. The galaxy now knew about the hybrid generation, and they were watching. Days passed. The soldiers left. Commander Voss, no longer the same, gave a speech to Earth Command. They are not our enemies. They are our mirror. What they become depends on us. Elias stayed. He taught the children stories of Earth. Kayla told him stories from the stars. Together they sat under a new flag, a symbol of unity. Tyla smiled and said, "You didn't come to save us, Elias. You came to see what saving truly looks like." But deep in space, the signal reached others. Old empires, dark species, and forgotten gods. They heard the call. A new generation has risen. And not all were pleased. The colony had peace sweet for 6 days. Children laughed again. Human and alien parents shared food. The soldiers from Earth had left. Even Commander Voss, once their enemy, had returned to orbit with kind words and a changed heart. But peace is a fragile thing, and someone had been lying. Captain Elias sat at a quiet stream, writing in his logbook. His message was hopeful. The hybrid children are peaceful. They learn fast. They create instead of destroy. I believe they are the future of this galaxy. Suddenly, a shadow fell across his page. A voice he trusted spoke coldly. "Then I suppose the galaxy is doomed." Elias looked up sharply. It was Dr. Liana, the human scientist, his friend, the one who helped raise the children. But her eyes were different now. Hard. Unfeeling. "Liana, what are you saying?" She pulled out a small device. "I was sent here with one goal, not to study these hybrids, but to stop them, before they spread." She pressed a button. Far away, hidden deep beneath the mountain, an ancient machine activated, a weapon left behind by the first watchers. The mountain began to hum. The crystal tower darkened. The ground shook. Kyla screamed in the distance. "Something is wrong. Something is waking that should stay asleep." Back in the village, the hybrid children dropped to their knees. They clutched their heads. A strange pulse filled the air, not sound, not light. Something deeper, something sharp, like a scream with no voice. Tyla cried out, "It's a suppressor wave, it's attacking their minds." Elias ran toward Kayla, who was shaking on the ground. "Stay. With me," he shouted. Tears ran down her glowing cheeks. "They want us gone. They're trying to make us forget who we are." Above, the UESS Titan picked up a massive energy surge. Earth officers shouted in panic. "Did we activate something?" "No, sir, it's coming from the surface, unknown tech. It's disrupting hybrid biology, brainwave collapse in progress." Commander Voss, pale, stared at the screen. "Shut it down," he ordered. "We can't. Someone down there is controlling it." Back on the ground, Elias confronted Liana. "You betrayed them," he yelled. She didn't blink. "They were never children to me, just mistakes, dangerous ones. You lived with them. They trusted you." She laughed bitterly. "And they showed me what I feared most, that they're better than us." Suddenly, Kayla stood. Her body glowed with pulsing light. Her eyes were calm, but no longer full of fear. She walked slowly toward the machine entrance. "Where are you going?" Elias asked. "To the heart," she whispered, to silence the scream. Tyla, weak but standing, gave Kayla a crystal pendant. "This belonged to the first Starborn. The Watchers gave it to us long ago. Use it." Kayla nodded, clutching it tightly. Inside the mountain, Elias and Kayla moved through ancient halls. Walls pulsed with red light. Machines whirred like breathing beasts. At the center was the device. It floated in a chamber, dark metal, ancient symbols, and a glowing orb spinning above it like an eye. Kayla stepped forward. The machine pulsed harder. "Half-blood, broken thing, I do not enter," it whispered in her mind. She held up the pendant. "I'm not broken, I'm new." The orb shrieked, but she didn't stop. Elias watched in awe as Kayla touched the machine. Light burst from her hands. The pendant shattered. A beam shot into the ceiling. All across the village, children stood up. The pulse was gone. The pain had stopped. Outside, Liana screamed, "No, no, you weren't supposed to survive." Tyla stepped beside her, staff in hand. "You forgot one thing," she said coldly. "You taught them." And they learned hope. Liana was taken into custody. Earth Command ordered her return for trial. Elias looked up at the stars. "Peace isn't easy," he said, "but maybe it's worth the fight." That night, the unknown alien ship blinked a signal, a single symbol, respect. But in the black of space, another signal echoed, not from Earth, not from the Watchers, but from something older, darker. It had seen the hybrids survive, and now it was coming. For the first time in weeks, the stars looked different, brighter, closer, and angrier. The unknown alien ship that had once simply watched was now silent. The Earth ship UESS Titan had withdrawn to orbit, afraid of what might happen next. But the new signal, the one that came after Kayla shut down the ancient machine, didn't come from them. It came from deep space, from something old, something cold, something that hated what the hybrids had become. Kayla stood before the council, half-human, half-alien leaders who once thought peace was enough. "We must prepare," she said. One elder asked, "Prepare for what?" Kayla's voice was steady. "They're coming to erase us." Captain Elias watched from the side. He had seen Kayla grow from a shy child into something more, a leader, a light. Now she stood taller. Her skin glowed faintly even when she slept. Her thoughts echoed across minds without speaking. She was no longer just a girl. She was the spark of a new species. The colony prepared for war, but they didn't build bombs or fire weapons. They trained in silence. They worked in teams. The hybrid children practiced strange new skills. One could see sound, another could melt metal with just her eyes. Some could fly for minutes without help. Others could create shields of pure energy, but none of them wanted to kill. "We will only defend," Kayla said. Deep underground, Elias helped uncover more forgotten structures from the Watchers. Strange machines, ancient star maps, and warnings. When unity is born, destruction follows. They will not accept evolution, they will try to stop it. You must choose, to hide or to stand. Elias asked Kayla, "Are you ready to fight?" Kayla replied, "No, but I'm ready to protect." 3 days later, the sky tore open. A giant ship appeared, black, alive, and crawling like a monster. It had no name, no flag, only one goal: erase the hybrids from existence. The Earth ship sent a signal. "Unidentified vessel, do not attack the colony. These are peaceful beings." But the reply was chilling. They are not beings. They are errors, and errors must be cleansed. The attack came fast, lightning from the sky. Explosions near the village edge. Screams in the forest, but the hybrids didn't run. They stood together. Kayla raised her hands. A barrier of light formed over the entire village. Not from tech, but from every child, thinking as one. Elias stood beside Tyla, holding a blaster. He looked up at Kayla and whispered, "She's not just protecting us, she's leading us." The enemy ship released drones, metal creatures with blades for arms and no voices. They charged the shield. One hybrid boy stepped forward and reached out. The nearest drone froze, and then turned around. "I heard its thoughts," the boy said. It was unconfused, lost. I calmed it. "Can you do that to all of them?" Elias asked. The boy shook his head. "Not alone." More children stepped forward. One by one, they joined hands. Their lights connected. A wave of calm spread out. Dozens of drones fell to the ground, powered off. But the main ship did not stop. It fired again, this time at the mountain. The ancient crystal tower cracked. The Watcher's temple was collapsing. Kayla screamed, "We must protect the heart." Elias and a team of hybrids ran inside. They carried nothing but willpower and memory. Inside the tower, Kayla placed her hand on the glowing core. "I was born from this light," she whispered. "Now I return it, to protect us." The light spread. It entered every hybrid child. They glowed, together, like stars come to life. Outside, the sky cracked. The dark ship stopped firing. A voice, strange and broken, cried out. Too bright, too strong, too human. And then it was gone. Vanished. The key. Battle ended. But no one cheered. Kyla collapsed into Elias's arms, drained. She gave everything, Tyla whispered. But she lit a fire in all of us. Elias looked at the sky. There would be more enemies, more fear. But now, they had something stronger than weapons. They had hope. Smoke faded from the mountains. The stars were quiet again. And for the first time in years, the colony felt something rare. Stillness. Kayla lay in the healing chamber. Her skin no longer glowed. Her breath was soft but steady. Captain Elias sat beside her. His hand held hers. You did it, he whispered. You saved us all. Tyla stood nearby. She gave more than her strength. She gave her light to awaken the rest. Outside, the colony had changed. The hybrid children, now glowing faintly like Kayla once did, walked with new purpose. They didn't feel like children anymore. They were leaders now. Across the galaxy, the final battle signal had reached every system. Planets once divided by fear now asked questions. Who are these hybrid children? Are they a threat? Or are they the answer we've waited for? Some empires wanted war. Some wanted to study them, but many wanted to learn from them. The Council of Earth sent a message. We offer peace. We recognize the hybrid colony as a sovereign civilization. We welcome them to the galactic table. Elias smiled at the news, but Kayla, now recovered, said softly, We don't want seats at their table. We'll build our own. Soon after, ships began to arrive. Not to invade, but to visit. Aliens of all kinds stepped onto the colony grounds. They brought gifts, books, old languages, lost tech, and even songs. The hybrids listened. They smiled, and they shared their light. A special ceremony was held under the mountain. Kayla stood in front of the colony and all visitors. She wore a simple white robe. Her eyes now glowed with a calm golden light. Not power, but peace. Elias by her side looked on proudly. Tyla placed a crown of silver leaves on Kayla's head. You are not a queen, she said. You are not a ruler. You are a voice for all of us. Kayla stepped forward and spoke. We were born from fear, but we chose love. We were hunted as errors, but we stood as bridges. And now, we choose our own path. She turned toward the stars. To those who fear us, we forgive you. To those who seek to control us, we are not yours. And to those who walk beside us, no matter your blood, shape, or sky, we welcome you. The crowd was silent for a moment. Then a soft cheer rose, then louder. It was not a cheer for victory, it was a cheer for beginning. Later, Elias stood at the same stream where it all began. Kayla joined him. She looked older now, not in age, but in presence. Are you staying? She asked. Elias nodded. This is my home. My people are here. She smiled gently. You helped protect something special. No, he said. You showed us what special looks like. Far above, the dark enemy that once tried to destroy them had gone silent, but others were still out there, watching, and Kayla knew this was only the beginning. But for now they had peace. They had unity. And they had the future in their hands. The final scene. Hybrid children sitting with alien elders, learning to sing old songs. Human engineers and alien techsmiths building ships together, a sky full of stars, with one new star glowing brighter than all. That star was the colony. A beacon, a promise, a new chapter for the galaxy.